Hello everybody, I just thought I'd do a final video of the series. This is obviously the model completed, so I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a walk around so you can have a final look. It's been a good model to build for its age. As you, I think people will probably understand, it's not the same sort of quality as a hero kit, which was obviously the last build that you saw me putting together. Well, the last two builds obviously have been hero kits, but I think for the age of the kit, for each year, it's not a bad build really. Like I said in some of the videos, the plastics wasn't the best, but it's all right. I've built a lot of worse kits over the years, and so it's not a bad one to obviously get on with. The fitment in places isn't great, but as like I said before, you've got to understand that this kit was probably made with with photographs to the ruler. In fact, I don't even know how they would even start to make it back in. I mean, this kit was initially, what I've looked online, it was actually first issued, I think, in '78. And I think the finished Nagano in '81, '82. But don't hold with that. If anybody's got any more information, let me know. But as much as I can say, the company obviously ceased trading, but I think it was bought out by Protar. But this kit has never been in production again. So the only thing I can think of is the mould broke or something went wrong with the moulding, because the kit's still not in production. Obviously, moulds need to be looked after, and obviously they can only get so many productions out of them before they need redoing. So I don't know, but if anybody's got any more information, let me know. But I thought I'd just give you a bit of a once over. I normally go around the bike again after it's all finished. I haven't been able to do as many videos as I'd want to do really. I started off really well, and then obviously it got less and less and less really. I wanted to do more on the painting side, but I looked at the videos. I did film some of them, but they was awful. You could hardly hear me. They had the extractor going, and some of the stuff you didn't even see me spraying. So in the end, I didn't bother putting it out there really. So maybe next time. I don't know what the next kit's going to be. I still want to do that Hero Black Shadow, but they're a lot more expensive. So we'll see. But I thought I'd just give you the last once over, and any comments you wanna know. And as like I said, any videos you want me to do, or interested in any parts of the bike or this particular bike or any other particular bike that you wanna see really, let me know, and I'll see what I can do really. I'm not up to doing small videos on certain things, but I'm learning about videoing. I'm a model maker, like I've said before. I'm not really into the videoing. Like I've always built, and then I got on with my life really. Just done little bits and pieces, like I said before, and picked it up and put it down. And I think that sometimes our models generally, for me, that's how they've always got built. They've never really been, they don't really take over my life, and I think that's sometimes, they just do. I just use them for, a little bit of, me time, I suppose. And I like the way certain things come together. When you do little bits at a time, I think sometimes modelling can get a little bit, for me anyway, you can get you get too wrapped up into it, and then you start getting too deep into it for me. And sometimes I'll just like to put it down and leave it for a week. They've always said, even all my life really, when I've been building, take ages to build a model. You should have it built in a week, and you guys out there know that models can't be built in a week. They can be glued together in a week, but they can't always be built in a week. So anyway, this is the speed I build at, and people, if they want me to build anything, this is a sort of the constraints that I tell them. I said you might see it in a year, so I always give them a year time frame, and then if it gets built quicker, all the better. But thanks for joining me on the journey, all the guys out there that's left comments and thumbs ups and subscribed. I never thought I'd get some people many subscribing really. for me, people, I don't want to sort of think like I'm droning on everybody. And I've used some of the comments you've given me. You've given me some help in, in new tools and some new techniques and stuff that I've never even heard of. So, like I said before, we never stop learning in this game. And it's nice to hear from you guys if you've got any comments or anything that you think I can do better, or a different technique that I can do or I can use. Put them in the comments. Don't be shy of leaving anything in the comments. Criticism and modelling is I've been used to all my life, really. People always used to pick out the stuff that I hadn't done, and that way I put it in on the next model I did. So it all goes in there. You can't keep everybody happy all the time. I understand that. There's people, I'm sure, who's got a Kawasaki Z1R who said that's wrong and this is wrong and the other one's wrong. All I'll say to them guys is I can only build what the kit has to a point. You look at my last video and people say, well, why is the Model Factory Hero kit so expensive? It's just the detail on the kits. People who build models understand this. Whereas people who want it for the bike itself, or just because they like motorcycle and they want a miniature version of it, they don't really understand on how models are put together. People who build models understand that, to put the small detail on it, it all has to be cast or manufactured in some way, with it being etched metal or whatever you do, or whether you build it yourself. It all had to be added, and it all costs money. This bike was, like I said before, it was probably made by photographs. I don't even know how they'd even start to make something like this back in the late 70s. Today, here Model Factory Hero and most of them kit manufacturers have computers. They have CAD design, and they even get obviously designs from the actual manufacturer, and they send them CAD over to if they're licensed by the manufacturer, they'll get the kit sent over, and all the bike sent over, and they can build it from that. These days, when this was out, I have no idea how they would do it. But obviously, if you've got computers design, you can break things down, and machining's different. So anybody that's obviously watching this as a respective of the Kawasaki bike, and they're saying, well, this isn't right or that isn't right. Back in the day, that's probably what they put together. They probably were. There's certainly things on the photographs that I've seen of the real bike. It's the bike's completely different. I didn't want to start, making new forks and all the rest of it. It's possible to make it better, but obviously I didn't want to go down that route. I wanted to, I didn't want to go too deep. I wanted to try and build it as from the kit itself. I have added a little bits and pieces. I have changed the design. I changed like the mudguard slightly because it didn't really look right. So there is little bits you can change, but when you want to start manufacturing stuff, it's a lot harder to do that. So, I didn't want to go down that route really, because it would probably took me twice as long as well to do it. So I wanted to a relatively I'm a 6-month build is probably really quick for me. So I just thought I'd do this last video just to want to say thank you for everybody who's followed on, and anybody who's left a comment and liked. I do appreciate it. And I will say I'll hopefully try and get the video in better. At the minute, I'm concentrating obviously like I've always done on the building. But if I want to do these videos more and more, I'm going to probably have to get into doing more of the video inside and getting a little bit better set up, really, probably. But at that, I'll leave it at that, and I'll catch you in the next video. So I'll do a bit of an extra video. It's obviously I've just put it into the display case, but I also built my nephew a smaller version of it. This is an Aishima kit, and it's a custom kit. So what it says on the box of an Aishima kit is completely different than what you actually get inside. It's a completely different exhaust, completely different wheels. There's a little bit different swinging arm. I don't know what the situation is on the Aishima kits. I think they get sold by what's on the box, which is what this kit got sold on, really. When my nephew bought it, he looked at the box and obviously he thought that was the original bike, but it wasn't. Everything's completely different, and the thing is, the bits that make it are missing. So anybody who's looking at, who's into Z1s, if it's an Aishima kit and it says Aishima Custom, it's not what's on the box. It's completely, you need to look on the instructions on the inside. I know I told Steve at Hero Boy, because he sells them, and he's actually changed on his website now the actual kit that you're actually buying inside, because even he was taken in a little bit because he thought it was what was on the box. So obviously what you actually see on these kits is not what you see inside. But anyway, so I thought I'd show you them, obviously the two together. You've obviously got 12th scale, which if you're looking onto scales, if people don't understand on the scales, you've obviously got 12th scale, and then you've obviously got 8th scale, which is obviously the slightly bigger one. And then everybody that will have seen on the Bruff, so it's just in a display case, it might be a bit glary, that's the 9th scale. So you see them all together, and you get some idea of the sizes of all the different bikes, really. And it just gives you, because obviously when you see these scales on boxes, you don't always really understand the sizes of everything. So I thought I'd put them all together in one shot, really, so it gives you some idea of obviously the different sizes of the actual bike itself. You know, one scale up, it's difficult to give because it's the actual scale of the actual bike in real life. So, you know, the Z1, the 1.8 Z1 looks a lot bigger. Well, it is because it's a scale bigger, but it's difficult to comprehend the size of the bike, what it would be compared to a Bruff side by side. So it's difficult, and then you've got the slight variance on the scale factor as well. So it's really difficult with scales, but you know, basically the smaller the number one wants would be actual size. So if you don't understand obviously on the scale size, I know a lot of you guys who follow me will know all the scale sizes, but if anybody's sort of just coming for the first time and not understanding scale sizes, the smaller the second number, the larger the kit will be. So 1/1 would be full size, and then it basically goes down in scale sizes. Most common sizing obviously in bikes, it generally is 1/12. There's obviously Model Factory Hero have done the series of 1/9. You know, they've come on a long way with the 1/9 scale bike series, which is fantastic. But the common sort of sizes like the Tamiya's kits, generally the 1/12. Although Tamiya's have done some 1/6, not very many kits, but they've obviously done some the 1/6 scale kits as well. This is a Nagano kit, which is 1/8. Now, 1/8 and 1/9 are very similar in size. As I said, Pro Tire, that I think took over Nagano, they do more 1/9 scale kits. I don't know whether they're still in production. I've been out the actual modelling sort of shop area for a few years now, so I don't know whether they're actually still going. I know see them online at some high prices, and when kits go out of production, obviously they turn into bottles of wine and people start putting ridiculous prices on them. This kit was quite expensive. To get a decent kit, I got online for this Kawasaki, the Z1. It was 150 quid, but I wanted a nice kit, really. You know, there's some dogs out there, but it's difficult to find the kits when the kits get this rare. You know, people don't build them, and most of the times people want a nice kit for us to put in the loft, or turn into some sort of showpiece. Well, you know, modelling for me is all about building. You know, I want to build it, and I want to try and get a decent kit. Just mainly, the main thing was decals. You know, decals don't age very well if they're sat in a loft, and so I wanted to get a reasonable kit. And there's a guy online who found me a kit. I don't know where it's come from. It's probably come from Japan. It's a really nice kit, and it's obviously gone together quite well. So anyway, I'm going to sign off at that. You're probably not going to hear from me again on the Z1. This is probably going to be the last video, but I thought while I'm putting it in the case, I'll sort of show you them together. You hadn't seen the smaller kit, so I thought I'd show them side by side. So I'll catch you in the next one.